Chip. We're back. Episode number 38. I feel like I'm screaming.
I just zoned out and I was yawning for the first like 5 seconds of this video. Mouth wide open. Didn't even realize we were going. So
Can't go back now.
Nope.
Just have Jonathan edit and zoom in on your face.
Facts.
We're back. 38. We're getting close to 50.
12 away?
12 away. So it should be about 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
Next month.
Middle of April. We'll smash 50 in the face.
Yeah, we will. I'm going to bring a cupcake.
Are you going to bring a cupcake?
Yeah. We'll light it. Wouldn't that be cool start if it like caught on fire and then the drape caught on fire?
I don't think that would be a cool start.
Oh. Okay. We're going to dive into some, I wouldn't say they're Mac rumors because we are awaiting. This is live on the date. So when you play this episode, if you play it here on Tuesday, it is Tuesday.
Yep.
So,
Tuesday
So by the time I get
4th.
done editing this podcast and put it out, it might be out by then.
It might be out. This might be the first.
So what are we talking about?
We're talking about Apple.
The MacBook.
Tim Cook.
Yep. Timmy
did a
dude.
tweet.
He's got. We talked about it. That guy's got style.
Swag.
Yeah.
Absolute swag. I mean, I would have swag too if I was Tim
He
Cook.
has his own stylist, I'm sure.
Yes, I would assume.
Yeah.
But what we're talking about is the M4 MacBook Air is set to be, or said to be, or rumored to be.
Yep.
Released here
This
in
week.
the next couple of days. This week.
Yep.
Maybe today.
I
It
would
might
say
be out.
I would say from the rumors and speculations, I would say the biggest thing would be the M4 chip. 13 and 15-inch screens. Those are the norm. Am I right?
Yes. So there is the 13-inch Air, and then there's the 14-inch Pro.
Okay.
Then there's a 15-inch Air, and there's the 16-inch Pro. But Apple has made, with MacBooks, Apple has made an 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17-inch MacBook.
Do you think they'll ever go bigger than that?
I don't know. I only have 3 fingers left on this hand, so
You got toes.
we can
Take 'em
start
off.
using the toes. No, you don't want that. But they've made six different size variations. But right now right now with MacBook Air 13 and 15, MacBook Pro 14 and 16.
As far as like the best MacBook Pros of all time, if you look those up, actually, if you look them up on Google, I owned one of them. It was the one before, when it still had the SD card slot.
Yep.
Was it the 2015?
2015 MacBook.
I loved it.
Yeah.
It was a beast. And a lot of people still
use.
Yeah, people still use that.
No, that MacBook is a very, very good computer. I would say there's 3 different models of MacBook that I genuinely think are the best.
Yeah.
You have the 2012, would have the CD drive, right?
Yep.
And that was like the OG, like if you have one of those. Now they're ancient. People try to sell them, the whole 9 yards, but they're older. You have the 2012 with the CD drive, and then you also have the 2015.
Yep.
And when Apple switched from the CD drive to Retina, there was a, where's my CD drive going? But obviously now it was a smart choice. And then from 2015, I think the next time we saw a good working MacBook was when Apple came out with the 14-inch M1 Pro. The body style, ST cards back.
Yep.
HDMI cards back.
Yep.
Or slots back. MagSafe's back. They took all that away for 10 years. From 2016 to 2022, I think, or 2021, 6 years or so. They took all that
and life's
away.
Life's all about perspective, because if you think about it, people like Belkin and all these like underdog third market, they sold the heck out of dongles.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And now I've got like 4 dongles.
Everything. We have bags of dongles.
Yeah. And sometimes I'll use it. Sometimes I use a dongle. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. I've got like an HDMI.
You have an HDMI on your computer.
That's crazy.
HDMI is very much used still today, though.
Yeah.
USB-C is getting there, but I think HDMI is used a lot.
Okay, so creatives in different aspects. I consider you a creative. I know you didn't consider yourself a creative for a long time, and now you are. You are a creative. Do you use the SD card slot a lot?
Nope.
I use it every single day.
I don't have anything from a camera, though. This is the only camera that I own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It'd be interesting to see like percentage of people that actually use it.
I think in the short film world that we do now,
Yeah.
I don't think there's a lot of, like right now you guys are on like I don't even know, a tripod with some expensive, I don't even know what it is.
Sony
Camera.
Cinema Line
It's all
camera.
Alex, it's not mine. Has we have a TV over here with our faces on it. It's like a whole setup thing, lights. But me, I have
A phone.
the phone, but I also sometimes I have a little ring light that we do videos with now.
Yeah.
And then I have this little thing that will clip on here and it'll shine up right here if I need a little bit extra light. Our warehouse isn't lit as well as I
just
would
don't
like for it to be. So.
I don't want it to go forward and them be like, oh, well, 20% of the population's using the SD card slot. We're going to get rid of that again. I'll be like, please, no.
Yeah, because there are SD card slots in there, right? Yeah, so.
Yeah, and I use that, but I feel like not a lot of people use it, and they're going to get rid of it again.
That will not be around forever.
Hmm?
The SD card slot will not be in the MacBook
Don't say
forever.
that.
It won't be.
Don't.
It can knock as hard and as much as you want.
I waited 10 years, and it came back.
That's true. Maybe it's a 10-year cycle.
When was the last time you used a super drive? The DVD, CD player?
Oh. We have one somewhere around here.
Actually, so I have it in the collection because I'm the old head and I keep all the old
Yes.
technology in buckets, one
Yep.
of each. And I remember you text me one day. You're like, "Hey, we've got a CD drive, don't we? We got something around here. Oh, please don't get in the bucket." You're like, "I found it. I'm in the bucket." I was like, "Oh man."
We literally have buckets of stuff.
Yeah.
But no, that CD drive was huge because when they took away,
Yeah. Can you buy that on Apple.com? Do you know?
I don't think you can buy it on Apple's website, but you can definitely get third parties on Amazon for
Amazon,
$25. And then you can get the OG Apple ones on probably eBay or something like that
Right.
online as well. But that was, they took away the SD card, or not the SD card, the CD drive out of the MacBooks. And they're like, you know what? We're going to take it out of here. Here's a huge dongle.
Yep.
Now we don't use DVDs.
Yeah. And dongles are crazy. So speaking of dongles and connectivity, so with the Air reported to come out this week, besides the M4 chip upgrade for speeds, the next thing would be, is it Thunderbolt 5? They're talking about having.
Did it say that? I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
To be
So
honest.
that's the rumor is Thunderbolt 5. Right now there's two on the Airs. There are two Thunderbolt 4s. Is that correct on the
Yep.
M3?
Yep.
So yeah, that would be higher connectivity. Not only the M4 chip would be faster, and it depends if you're in that world of, whether it be creative or video or whatever. You can I can tell a difference a little bit, slightly.
Right.
I didn't for a long time, but now I can. Like if I'm using somebody's computer and they have an M1 or previous, and then mine, I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
It's a little bit noticeable.
No, absolutely.
But Thunderbolt 5 coming out. Yeah, I'm interested to see. I haven't used Thunderbolt 5 yet.
Yeah.
It's kind of like almost like 3.1 USB.
See, the thing is, I don't really use any of that stuff. That's more of a you thing.
Really?
I don't.
Do you ever plug your phone into your MacBook?
No,
Me neither.
I don't do any of that.
And
I don't even
even
plug
though
my
it's
phone in.
even though it's my computer and my phone, do you trust it? No.
No, absolutely. Do I trust myself? Nope.
No, I don't
Nope.
trust my phone. It's
Nope.
doing stuff.
That's funny.
It's got ChatGPT. I don't trust anything
No,
that's
I
on it
don't, I
now.
don't trust anything. But the M4
Yep.
is, from what we've read, and this might drop today. This could very
And
well drop
It's
today. We
got
have
the
no
cellular
idea.
chip in it now too.
No, it doesn't. If you guys have been listening for a while or listening at all, I want a MacBook with a cellular chip in it.
Landon's Christmas wish list.
Why would you not? Why is the option of not having cellular like on your MacBook? You know how many people would want that for businesses? They would go straight to, but I think they do that so people will buy iPad Pros as well. The niche. But the M4 MacBook Air is rumored to just be the same exact thing with a different chip. It's from the M3 to M4. The sizes are going to be the same. The colors are going to be the same. They said a little bit with FaceTime, it's supposed to be different.
Yeah.
But it's
Center stage where it follows you around.
But it's the same computer.
When I FaceTime, Lincoln has the 10th gen iPad.
Okay, yeah.
And when he's at his mom's and I'm FaceTiming him, he'll like set it down and move around. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And it goes, and it just follows. He likes
Oh, does it really?
He likes to do that. Yeah.
I've never
center
even used
stage.
that.
Yeah.
No.
Because when I read, I don't know the M3. I think I have an M2. I think I have an M2.
I think you might have an M1 Pro, but
M1 Pro.
you might have an M1 Ultra, M1 Max, or something.
But I think they said with the M3, when they came out with those, they came up with that better center stage camera, so it has a higher pixel or a higher quality. If there's anything I would change about MacBooks, and I don't know if you've done this, but like I'll have to zoom every once in a while, like once a month, once every other month, And I'm like, God, picture quality sucks. And they're like, well, I could hook up my phone and make that the camera, whatever. I'm like, that's just too much work.
Yeah, you got it's a whole nother thing, and then you're looking at your phone.
I wonder why they've never done that.
The what?
Because even like people that stream and they like streamers and they use MacBooks, they always that's the first thing they get is
A separate camera.
Separate camera.
Well, you know what? Too, this is a pet peeve of mine. So I use in my office the Apple XDR display.
Yep. It looks like a spaceship.
It's the cheese grater on the back of the display. It's 32 inches big. It's a big display, right?
Yep.
It is also the most expensive display that Apple sells. Now, mind you, I did not pay even half of what that thing is worth. Got a good deal on it through a trade or something like that, and I can't seem to let go of it.
Yeah.
Because I love it. It's huge, and I have it on a big old
it's 8K.
mount. It's a beautiful screen. Now, the issue that I run into, that Mac or that display does not have speakers, and it does not have a camera, and it is a $8,000 screen. No speakers, no camera, on you could buy a very used but Honda Civic that could last for several years for less than $8,000.
With the used webcam probably in the trunk if you get lucky.
It might even have a little 7-inch display that somebody put in because the radio went bad in '96. It's unbelievable to me. Like that's insane. I don't know how you don't have an $8,000 screen that doesn't have a camera integrated. Because we also have the studio displays.
Yep.
The $1,400 screens.
I would like to.
They have cameras.
I'd like to do a comparison with those between XDR and the studio.
We could do it. Yeah, absolutely.
I just want to see. Like, I don't use them day to day.
Yeah.
To know, like, if you could really tell the difference.
There was.
I don't know what the refresh rate is on those or anything.
Dude, we could mount it up here and get this thing stabilized, but we could have it. The other day I was like, I'm trying to look at a different view. And I had the mount, and I turned the whole entire thing long ways.
Yeah.
Like you see on somebody's...
I thought you were going to say the whole thing went...
No.
Dude, that's heavy. The arm that you have on that thing, I'm like, dude, that's a beast.
No, I found a good arm for it, too. What's expensive display? Yeah, it's heavy. You want to keep something in there strong. I think it's the same arm that we have on this monitor, too, to be honest.
Yep.
But I didn't want how much it took for us to get this thing working right here. I just went and bought another one because I didn't want to have to worry about.
I think
that
eventually I gave up on that.
That thing's gonna fall. That screen's gonna fall off one day.
That screen, the pole behind it, the light pole.
Yeah.
There's a knob that like you tighten it, it's resting.
Yeah, no, it's just sitting there.
Jonathan went to go move something. I'm like, no, don't do that.
A small earthquake would just knock over that.
I think if I sat down too hard at that table, it would fall off.
That's probably true too.
Okay, so something you're really knowledgeable about this too. The M2s, right now on Apple.com, of course, you can buy M2 and M3 Airs.
Mm-hmm.
The rumor being if the ones that M4, the new ones come out, do they normally take off?
So they normally drop down.
But I heard the rumor. Hold on, I heard the rumor talking about, well, if these M4s are too expensive, they'll keep the M2s as an option.
The M2s, there's not a lot of difference between the M2 and the M4.
It's like $1,100.
I think what Apple does with a lot of that and just knowing and understanding stock keeping, and Apple's totally different, so you can't even think of a $1 trillion company. But it's if they've already created it and they have this SKU left over, they'll sell out of it. And then is it worth it to continue to build more, produce more type of thing? So I don't know if they'll I think the M2 could be affordable. I think they could drop the price a little bit.
Yeah.
Right? And have that option and continue selling that. But if it also would deter, they want to push people in the M4. So if you come in and you have an option for an M2 for $899, a M3 for $999, or an M4 for $1099, for the extra $200, I would probably just get the newest one out.
Right.
Because it starts with M2 didn't start with 16 gig of RAM, right? It started with 8. Only the M3 has a 16 gig of RAM in it now.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to look at that. For $200 more, I would assume you would sell more M4. They would have to drop the price even lower to that, or sell that to their distributors, Best Buy, Walmart, stuff like that, in order for them to get rid of it. I don't know how they work though.
But I think too, if you think about it, like even with like the 16E that just came out, they're looking for more affordable.
Yeah.
I wonder, and now that we're talking about it, it just came to my mind. I wonder with like the Vision Pro, if that was like a cry of, hey, your stuff's way too expensive. You need to start making cheaper versions of stuff.
The Vision Pro was way too insane. You could buy another
But since
car.
then, if you think about it, since then we've got like the 16E that came out.
We
right?
have more affordable options.
More
certain
affordable
things.
options.
More base level, but higher.
Does that
spec.
take away the integrity of Apple?
No,
The name.
no, because the product's still there. Like even the nicest cars have a lower model car.
Yeah.
There's different models too. Do you want the
Stock.
the S, or do you want the stock? Right. So it depends on what it was. You want all the
Bells and whistles.
recliners and you know the whole deal with
Yeah.
cars. Do you want that extra stuff, or are you fine with this? And I think Apple's 16e, I think it's going to do very well, specifically because it is an affordable option.
Yeah.
If I'm buying my kid their very first phone, I am getting them the cheapest phone there, man.
Yeah.
Now, I'm probably going to shop at strictlyapple.store for that phone.
Yeah.
But if I'm looking for a cheap phone, I'm going to go with the cheapest phone they have. And if I'm buying brand new from Apple, it is what it is.
I know it's a a common problem with everybody, whether you have whether it be a Dell or a MacBook Air or a MacBook Pro, but being storage. What Airs right now? What do they come storage base wise? Do you know?
256
Is the lowest.
Yes.
And everybody always has problem with storage.
Yep.
I mean, eventually you're going to have problems with storage. I think maybe less with Air. Maybe. Not dealing with bigger file sizes, rendering videos.
But it really depends on what the person puts on there.
That's true.
It could be you could use an Air.
I could use an
and
Air.
you could get the stuff done. You're just going to fill it up faster.
Yeah.
So pushing people towards the Pro, if you're going to get a MacBook Pro, their base model MacBook Pro is $1,599 right now. It used to be $1,000.
And do you think they keep lows? Like, of course, it's going to be more enticing. Okay, I'm going to get a M4 MacBook Air, but I'm going to get the lowest gigs for storage because it's the most affordable, right?
Right.
Do you think they keep it low enough to where it's usable, but people are going to have to upgrade eventually and get cloud storage?
Cloud store. That's what I was going to say. It's a scheme for everybody. One of these days, they're going to sell Macs, and there's no storage on it. It's
like
just everything's in the cloud.
Chromebooks were, honestly, that's what I thought Chromebooks were made for. No storage.
Yeah.
Everything's cloud.
Well, there's some storage on it because they have to store the software. But even that, there might be 64. A lot of Chromebooks are 64 gigs. Or they used to be. We don't deal with a lot of Chromebooks, but 64 gig Chromebook, you have your operating system on there, and then it's everything. The thing is, too, with storage, everything is kept in the cloud. Even if you say you're using, and just because it's on top of my head, QuickBooks. QuickBooks is no longer on your computer.
Yep.
QuickBooks is now an online service.
Yep.
I don't mess with it, but I know that's using. It's the same thing with, you can do Word. You can do the same exact thing. You can do Excel the same way. So a lot of things are saved in the cloud the entire time. It's not necessarily needs to be on your computer. So I bet that you could manage with 256 with what you do, Alex.
Yeah.
But everything's going to have to be in the cloud.
Yeah.
Right. And then you're going to download it like you want, more efficiency, more time. But it is what it is, man. I don't know. I right now, I cannot update my computer. I have 500 gigs of storage on my computer because of all the stuff I have on there. So
just get external SSDs.
Then what am I going to do? Lose it?
I've
can't
got
keep
a
my
keychain.
keys, let alone a external SSD.
I've got
no
a
way.
keychain, and because they have like a keychain clip on them, and it's just like I'm a janitor, but for big SSDs now.
Yeah, no, I can't do that. I can't do that.
Okay, so possibly getting rid of the M2 online. We'll see. I think I can see that. I mean, it's all about the art of sales, right? You could telling somebody they go in the Apple store, they're like, you can get the M2
Right.
lot cheaper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Until they sell out, I can see how they wouldn't want to do that.
Right.
I guess too, it blows my mind, and I don't think in this capacity, but like, when do you stop making the M2? Because then you got a buttload of M2s.
Yeah, you got
know
10
what I mean?
M2s in stock. I don't think Apple has issues with stock at all, but I would say, M4 is probably it's only 2 years old though, and things don't go out of stock. Things don't become not ancient. What's the word when it's vintage, right?
Mm-hmm.
For 5 years for Apple. So stuff right now, the M1s are still within the window, but in 2026, that 2020 M1 is going to be considered, which is crazy to me.
Right.
Because
the M series at all.
M series is good.
Yeah.
So the M1 being vintage, technically in a year, they're still going to update it for probably 2 or 3 years after that. and we sell those MacBooks for like $450.
Yep.
So a good deal on a computer. Would I pay another $500 to get only a year older or a year newer?
Yeah.
No, I would probably just jump straight to the M4. So when did they stop selling the M2? I would say when the M2 replaces the M1, which will be next year.
Yep.
When it comes to age range.
Also, something that I was reading about was the iPads. They have the M4.
Yeah, so they have M4 iPad Pros, but they do not have. Oh man, somebody's going to hit me in the comment. I don't believe they have the M4 iPad Airs.
I don't think so.
No, I don't believe so. So that is something to be rumored, an iPad Air, because Tim Cook did tweet something's in the air.
Yep.
Air. So we're just going to go straight to the MacBook Airs. We don't know if it's iPad Airs. We don't know if it's MacBook Airs. We don't know if it's the iPhone 17 Air.
Yeah.
We're assuming that it's talking about the MacBook Air.
That'd be a big bomb if it dropped and it was the phone.
That would.
Everybody's waiting for
it would throw everybody off.
Yeah.
Because it's a September thing. So
why wouldn't it be?
I don't know. All I know is I won't be in town to receive my iPhone 17 this year.
Well, normally when the new phone comes out, remember you've had me order it.
Yeah.
You're like, did you get it? Did you get it? Did it happen?
Yeah.
Remember?
No, yeah. I was like, did you get it?
You're out of town. I was like,
Yeah.
no, I got it.
Because the time frame or something like that.
Yeah.
This year will be a totally different place. But it is what it is. We'll have to see what happens on that. I'll still order it. It'll be up to you guys to do the unboxing on that one.
I'll drop it.
Yes. I normally do a drop test or something.
Oh, no. Like I get so excited. Like, oh, I got it. And
Yeah.
Drop. We started out this, but I wanted to roll back to the question of, we were talking about sizes before you got to your toes and had to count sizes of screens.
Okay.
The MacBook Air, 13 and 15 right now, or is that right?
Yep. 13 and 15 inch.
Do you think that is a good size?
Yeah. Now, okay, here's the thing too, is I know some people like the 11
If they
inch
had to
back
get
in the
rid of
day.
one, which one would you get rid of?
I use a 14-inch MacBook Pro, but I'm thinking about upgrading. But so many, man, that's rough. Because there is a big difference in 13 and 15 inches. There
Mhm.
really is.
Yeah.
You have a nice backpack style MacBook for 13 inches, and then you have another 16 or 15 inches is a lot larger than what you think. So I don't know which one. Which one will I get rid of?
You think about it. You think about it in comparison. Like, say, like if you have a normal phone and like you pick up somebody's and they have like some people pick up my phone and it's a Pro Max and they're like, oh my
bigger.
God, the screen's huge.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's only maybe an inch less.
But it's a little bit wider as well.
Yeah.
So
so like when
heavier.
you see a screen like a 13 versus a 15, you're like, oh,
yeah,
it's huge.
I would assume if I had to get rid of one, I would probably say get rid of the 13-inch Air because I think the 15-inch.
But then just go for the Pros.
Then just go for the Pros. But then are you get the 14-inch Pro or the 16-inch Pro? Because you can't do one or the other.
Why do they do that?
I
13,
have no
15,
idea.
14, 16.
Maybe so you have an option to get every single inch size that you want.
Maybe they're like, I need somebody so anal retentive that they need a certain number.
Yeah. And now, but they are now like 13-inch and 15-inch, which is like 15.7, 13.3.
And now for the Pros, are those a good size?
I think the Pros are fine. I think when it comes to the MacBook Pros, that
should they make bigger?
Nah. If you need more than 16-inch,
what's the biggest one they've ever made? I've seen
17. 17 in 2011.
Dude, those are
and
huge.
9.
Huge.
Big computers. Dude, we used to work on some of those. We upgrade them to SSDs, batteries, the whole 9 yards. I can see the inside of one right now, visualizing it. But MacBooks are huge, and they're heavy. They had the CD drive, so they were just monsters.
Yeah, I think I've got one in the tub.
I mean, dude, it's similar to what you use.
Yeah.
It's not too far off. You have a 16-inch it doesn't have the CD drive, but that CD drive is so light inside of there. Those old ones, their battery was so heavy. I'm trying to find something. I mean, I promise it's probably as heavy as that, the battery.
Yeah.
It was insanely heavy. Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Okay, so if you had to get rid of one of those, since we already played it with the Airs.
I use the 14-inch, but I'm thinking about switching to the 16-inch because of how big that XDR display is that I use. I want a bigger screen.
This is all a psych test, by the way. This is live.
I'm probably failing it.
Yeah, it's you want bigger and better every time.
Yeah.
The bigger size every time.
Which also gets me in trouble for a lot of stuff.
Why get a pickup when you can get a diesel truck?
Right, yeah. No idea. What do you need? I have no clue.
I don't know. Semi 18-wheeler seems like it's a lot of fun.
The I don't know. I think I would say that a 16-inch is kind of the way to go with that. It's a big computer.
Is that risky?
What?
Like 16-inch. When they had bigger screens, do you think now think back, way back, was there a bigger influx of cracked screens back then? Because it's a bigger mass. You know, it's easier to break because it's going to be flimsier.
I don't think the old school ones that were like heavy, I don't think those things break. I mean, I think they found them under cars and stuff, not broken. Those things are, I mean, if you break one of those, you had to do something on purpose to break it. Now, with the LCDs the way they are, they break pretty easily. They're expensive. We've seen a couple 14-inch and 16-inch Pros that are broken, but it's not really, like the screen's not broken. Like, it's not cracked. The LCD on the inside is damaged because they did something stupid. Right. So it's normally, and people come in all the time saying they didn't do nothing. But you know.
What's the random question? What's the normal complaint about screens now? Like MacBook Pros and MacBook Airs that come in here to repair. Is it the crack? Is it like liquid damage? Is it?
So we had a guy the other day that had liquid damage this last week all over his computer. It was really weird. The hinge was stuck and everything.
Oh, is it that?
Yeah.
David was back there making a song.
Yeah, it was rough, man. We tried to get it to where it needed, but without replacing the screen, it was extremely. I mean, it's hard to do. The most common repair that we would have on MacBooks, we do a lot of like top keyboard replacements.
Yeah,
like the top case is what you would call it technically. We do some of those, a decent amount, and then we have the screens are always, you know. They're just very, very common to do, and they're expensive. The screen alone is half the price of your MacBook.
That's crazy.
Like, yeah, you'll even on like the older M1s and stuff, you're still paying $400, $500.
Has it always been that way?
Yeah.
So like with the old screens and the new screens? Really?
Any screens, even an iPhone, the new 16 Pro Max, for a screen on this thing, if you're going to get it fixed, you're $600 or $700, which is insane.
That's nuts.
Yeah, just for the screen.
It's just glass.
Yeah, but there's so much into it. They're hard to make. Half the time they're aftermarket or they're made to be replacement screens, and then they get more expensive because they're made for just one purpose. It's kind of weird how it works, but they're expensive screens. I think our price is like $600 on those screens.
Really? Daggone.
I don't even know if we replaced any yet, but they're expensive.
That's crazy. Do they get any cheaper as time goes by, or they get more expensive?
Absolutely. So actually, normally they get cheaper, like they'll start dropping in prices when a new phone comes out, and then after that. But even the 15 Pro Max, like those screens are still expensive. What funny fact is that the iPhone 16e, I just saw it the other day, so this is kind of hearsay, but I also believe that it's true from the source. The iPhone 16e and the iPhone 14 are the same screen.
Yeah.
So you can replace those screens and they work on both phones. So that tells you the iPhone 16e and the iPhone 14 are the same size because they have the same screen.
Yeah.
So fun fact. And there's a couple phones that swap screens like that. iPhone 12, iPhone 12 Pro.
Really?
Yeah, there was even some MacBooks that you could swap screens on and work.
And the only reason I know that too is because I remember going back there. I don't remember what model I had. It was before the 15 that I had. And some of them, the screen protectors I was looking for.
Yeah.
And Chano was like, no, it's the same size.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you mean it's the same size, dude? He's like, it's the same box, same size. Like,
no, it is the same thing. The X, or not the XR and the 11. There were a couple, like the iPhone 8 and iPhone SE are the same. There's a couple different ones. I can't think about them right now, like the 11 and the 11 Pro or something. I don't remember. But yeah, there's a lot of different. Apple does that stuff and switches that stuff up, and then they can reuse parts. Like they probably came out with the 16e and were like, hey, we got about 6 million of these iPhone 14 screens left in stock. Should we just put those on there?
Is there anything that they would change to a MacBook Air to make you go to a MacBook Air instead of a Pro?
No, I think my head's pretty brainwashed on the Pro now.
Really?
Yeah, I could use a MacBook Air. I don't even do nothing with
What
the
if
Pro.
the Airs had cellular capability?
Yep. Nah, see, the thing is, I don't even know if I would use it. I just want it. It's one of those options, right? So I don't know if I would actually use.
You're just now admitting this after asking for it for months now.
I don't know if I would physically use it, but it's the only device with a screen other than iMac, because that doesn't make any sense, that Apple sells that doesn't have cellular capabilities. You have the iPhone, You have the Apple Watch. You have the iPad. Why are we not making MacBooks with cellular, man? I can't get off of it. I don't know if I would use it because I'm in the shop.
Yeah.
I don't go places that I don't have Wi-Fi, right? But what about the guy in the work truck?
Yeah. Well, in the Apple car, they're going to do it at the same time.
We got to get off the Apple Card, man. That's never going to happen.
It's going to happen. Then we're going to replay these videos a long time from now and be like, I was right.
No, we're going to have to pull our car up in the mall for an oil change. That's what we're going to have to do.
The Apple start, excuse me.
And they're going to be electric, though. They wouldn't be.
Right. My headlight's out, Apple.
I just don't see the Apple logo on the front of a car.
My name's Alex.
I'm Landon.
And we appreciate you guys coming and listening to the ramblings. Soon, if you're watching this, hopefully within the next day or so, we're going to get the Airs.
M4 Air should be out soon.
Yep. I'll buy one in 2 years and let you know how it goes.
Yeah, we'll get them in stock here soon.
We'll take it easy. See you guys.
Talk to you soon.
Yep.